Imagine she's free from cancer now, but when she's looking at herself in the mirror, she still sees no hair on her head. Do you think she truly believes she's cured?
Assalamualaikum. Good day to everyone. Welcome back to Bicarawara. I am your host, Dr. Kusharin. Today we are diving into a truly transformative product called QR678, where impossible is made possible. In this episode, we will explore the groundbreaking innovation behind QR678, a revolutionary product or hair solution that changing the game for those facing hair loss or alopecia. We will discuss the science that powers it, hear inspiring success story from the founder, and delve into what sets QR678 apart in a crowded market. Together with me today, our honorable guest, Dr. Debraj Shome. How are you, Doctor?
Good to see you, sir.
Representing QR678 from India, from Mumbai, India. It is truly a great honor to meet the person himself here in our Bicarawara podcast. We hope that we're going to learn a lot about QR678 in this episode. And before we start any further, can you just share to our audience here in Malaysia? Probably they want to know more, a little bit about yourself, where you come from, what you do actually beside developing this wonderful product in this hair treatment solution.
Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Debraj Shome. I'm American board certified in facial cosmetic surgery. I'm told that I'm the only such surgeon, such certified by the US board in Asia. And I have been into plastic and aesthetic surgery for the last 15 years. I have been performing facelifts, rhinoplasties, blepharoplasties, hair transplants, and so on and so forth. We run a chain of clinics in India called the Aesthetic Clinics. We have 9 centers located in 6 major cities in India. And we also have multiple other entrepreneurial ventures. The QR678 is a product that we invented basically on a path which involves a lot of serendipity. We were actually looking at some cancer treatments. And when we were looking at some cancer treatments, somehow there were some insights which we worked on leading us to develop the QR678. The QR678 is a US patented, Indian patented product. The QR678 has 13 plus clinical papers published in the top clinical journals in the US. And it has treated over 150,000 patients now all across the world. It's approved, regulatory approved in 10 plus countries. It's a class 1 certified CE medical device. And in India, where the product originated from, it's in the hands of 1,000 plus dermatology and plastic surgery clinics. It is slowly and steadily becoming the treatment of choice for androgenetic alopecia, replacing PRP, replacing GFC, and replacing many other treatments. In fact, if you start the QR678 early enough, you do not require hair transplants. And so therefore, in that sense, it's a step forward in regenerative medicine in order to recreate your hair. The reason that it has a patent is because it converts dead and dying hair into living hair. And that has never been done before on planet Earth. And that's the reason that this product is doing really well all over the world. Thank you once again for having me here.
Thank you very much. So you can see the passion, the person himself, as the founder, as the developer of QR678, coming all the way from Mumbai, India. And as I mentioned just now to all our audience, we are honored to have such an individual who can come here and share this transformative and revolutionary product in this Malaysian market. Well, whether you are someone looking for a hair care solution or just curious to know about the trend now in aesthetic and cosmetic market, I think this is where we're gonna delve into the science behind it maybe we're going to get some more information from Dr. Debraj about what is it all about the usage, about the success stories about this QR678 product. Before we begin, you mentioned just now a little bit about where you come up or how you got inspired by developing this. Any story behind that, or any motivation that make you pursue to come out such products actually from the beginning of the development of this product?
Before I start, the first thing that I need to say is I come here as a friend of the Malay people. And Malaysia has been a second home for me for a long period of time.
Great.
My MBA, my final semester was at the National University of Singapore.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of my weekends in Malaysia, especially in JB and also in KL.
It's just only, I think about 2 kilometers away from Singapore to Johor Bahru. Yeah?
Absolutely. And it's a wonderful country. Some of the warmest people that I have met and some of my best friends on the planet are from Malaysia. And so it's been fantastic to bring our product back to Malaysia. Interestingly enough, in 2009 and 10, when we were looking to set up a company, Malaysia was one of the places that we thought would become the founding nation for QR.
And we missed that opportunity, I guess.
But it's fabulous to deal with you. It's fabulous to deal with all our warm Malay friends. And we are looking forward to serve the Malaysian people. Now, in my belief, majority of the things which happen because of serendipity. I mean, I know that human beings are the only animals which, when things go well, praise ourselves. And when things don't go well, blame the universe. And the fact of the matter is, my belief is that majority of the things which happen have already been predestined. So I'm very fatalistic in that manner. And so the story goes back to 2006, when we were working on certain solutions for retinoblastoma and neuroblastoma. Both are cancers which occur in children. And we were trying to find some nanomolecule solutions to these cancers. We were performing some mice experiments. And when we were performing the mice experiments, it was the notice of an insight that the mice were losing hair in the area around the cancer drug insertion, which led us to evaluate this insight in greater detail. One thing led to the other, and we started to work on growth factors which could together be combined to cause hair growth. Now, those growth factors over a period of time developed into a formulation which we call the QR678. The reason we named it the QR678 was also, is also a very interesting story. QR is short form for quick response. And at that point in time, in 2008 and 9, the QR code was not as ubiquitous as it is today. But today we know that even when you go to the restaurant, you have a QR code, you need to scan it to even read the menu card. So that time it wasn't that common, but QR is for quick response. 678, actually, many people do not know, in Morse code, when a ship is sinking, then the sailors are forever trying to put 678, 678 on Morse code to the lighthouse to tell the lighthouse that there's a problem that they cannot solve, and therefore they should be given a chance or they should be saved. It's like a save our souls message. Because the QR678 in the clinical trials proved to be a solution which solved the until then unsolvable problem of androgenetic alopecia, we called it the QR678, a quick response to a non-solvable problem or a difficult to solve problem, which then became the QR678.
Very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess the name or the brand doesn't come from out of nowhere. It does have a story behind it, which I think it is a very good and interesting information that we learned about QR678. Okay, now you said just now that you started with QR678, and I believe that it originates from India. But you see nowadays there's a lot of other hair product, hair solution that been offered all over the world. So what do you think that what makes this product is different as compared to the rest of the product available now in the market?
There will always be multiple products available for multiple things. But in my opinion, what's important as doctors is for us to have the science mentality. What we need to ask ourselves is, does this product have the credentials and the evidence behind it to make it work? I can be selling a toothpaste, but the fact of the matter is, how is this product different from the other toothpaste in the market? The QR678 has a patent. What does a patent mean? A patent in the US, granted by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, is amongst the most important intellectual properties that the product has acquired, showcasing that the United States and other countries have believed that this is a one of its kind or first of its kind product on the planet, which is why it was granted a patent. Me Too products don't get patents. And because this is a patented product and has had clinical trials, vigorously evaluated clinical trials with data which has been published in the top peer-reviewed international journals, it clearly showcases that there has been evidence which shows that this is a researched product. We cannot just use products for the sake of using them in our patients. We need, above all, we all follow the Hippocrates Oath.
Yes.
And the Hippocrates Oath, the one line that I never forget to tell myself and my patients is, primum non nocere. What that means is, above all, do no harm. And the most important thing is for us to believe the evidence which is available. There may be so many products on the planet without the clinical evidence. I ask you, are we justified as doctors to be using them on the patients? Patients are not guinea pigs.
Yes.
And therefore, utilizing a product which is patented, first of its kind, has clinical papers, and has at least 10 years of research trials before it hit the market is very important for us to demonstrate that it works. Today, what happens is, in fact, one of the doctors asked me, they asked me that if the product works so well, why did it take so long to hit the market? I told them, it is because it works so well that it took so long to hit the market. To become an overnight success, you need 10 years of work.
Yes.
You cannot just become an overnight success by making a product tomorrow. And that's the big thing about the QR678. The amount of medical evidence, data, and research which has gone into the making of the product truly makes it revolutionary. And that's why it's a paradigm shift from the utilization of other products which the market has. If you think about the common things utilized, especially in aesthetic medicine, in hair, there are not too many products which have evidence available with them.
Yes.
In fact, many people in the audience may not know PRP and GFC, which is taken from your own blood, actually does not have FDA approval for usage in these particular conditions. Yes. These are off-label indications of usage of PRP and GFC. My question is, why do we need to use off-label indications when you can have an on-label indication which can be utilized and which the FDAs have approved? And that is the evidence which, in terms of safety and efficacy, which the QR678 has garnered, and which is what makes the product totally unique in the field of regenerative medicine, especially in hair regenerative medicine.
Oh, fantastic. I think that's, I hope that will explain a lot of doubt actually that some of our audience have, yeah. But I guess when we look again into this hair solution market that we have globally or even in Malaysia, they tend to highlight certain active ingredients, certain things that may work in their product. So in QR678, can you just explain to our audience, what are any specific ingredients or contents that you think that this is what makes the product works well?
The first thing in any product has to be standardization.
Yes.
The problem with some of the products right now is that they are not standardized. If you use a PRP or a GFC, PRP is generated, we understand, from a human being's own blood. But your blood will have different platelet counts at different stages of the month. And your platelet count is different from mine. Then how do we know how many platelets and how much platelet derived growth factor actually is necessary to cause hair growth? Standardization and predictability is very important in any product. And it's the combination of 6 different growth factors which are there in QR678 combined in the optimum concentrations, which together lead to hair growth. What happens is when hair is dying out, basically the anagen or the growth phase hair goes into a telogen or a catagen cycle. The combination of the growth factors causes the growth cycle to change in hair. That's why this has a patent. Yeah. But once the growth cycle is changed, you also need some other things, like you need basically the development of blood vessels to get nutrition in, which then supports the growth of the hair. So it is the combination of the growth factors which A, changes the growth cycle of the hair, B, causes increased blood flow to the scalp in order to increase the nutrition count, and C, increases the cell turnover with the epidermal growth factors, etc., which in turn leads to the growth of stronger hair. So the QR678 is unique because it causes dead and dying hair to become reinvigorated, it causes the existing hair to become thicker, and it causes new hair formation, thereby leading to the filling up of the gaps which are there in alopecia. So it is a combination of the growth factors and the formulation which typically leads to it to become a one in a million sort of a product. Now, we all understand in aesthetic medicine, when botulinum toxin ended up coming in, we understood that at that time we may not have understood why it was a wonder drug. Today, botulinum toxin has more than 29 indications all over the body where it is used. The combination of having a unique molecule which works in a particular manner and the utilization of research to demonstrate the efficacy of each one of the ingredients is what makes QR678 unique.
Oh, fantastic. So I guess when you say about the active ingredient, the content that make this product works well with patient, and I think that will trigger some of our audience out there, probably knowing that hair loss can caused by a lot of causes, but in your opinion, or normally what you do what your advice to the patient or even doctors who are listening to us today, is there any specific indication actually or any contraindication to use this product for the public or even for the patient?
Majority of the causes of alopecia have genetic and hormonal reasons for hair loss. And when you look at a genetic and a hormonal reason for hair loss, the QR678 works wonderfully in them. So whether it is male pattern alopecia or female pattern alopecia, which is secondary to genetics and hormones, this works really well. The presence of copper tripeptide in the QR678 actually works as a local anti-DHT or DHT blocker. And by blocking the impact of the dihydrotestosterone receptors locally, it causes hair growth. So from that perspective, the first indication is in stages of androgenetic alopecia and female pattern hair loss. But this has also been proven to work really well in hair loss due to inflammation. Inflammatory hair loss or autoimmune hair loss like alopecia areata, it works really well. And it also works really well in other inflammatory hair loss like seborrheic dermatitis caused alopecia. The reason for this is because the presence of the growth factors and especially copper tripeptide leads to an immune downregulation in the scalp, preventing the excessive immunogenicity which causes the hair loss in these sort of hair loss areas. In addition to this, QR678 has been found to work really well in postpartum hair loss. It has been seen to work really well in telogen effluvium. So when we had COVID and people were losing, so I remember some patients who used to come in with bagfuls of hair. Yep. Literally, women were losing bags of hair at that moment. So the telogen effluvium caused post-measles or post-fever or post any of these other illnesses, the QR678 works really well. The most important thing is, because this is derived from plants, and this is a plant-derived medication, it does not have any deleterious side effects. In fact, if you were to use even 10,000 times the growth factors or the peptides which are in the QR678, like we did in our animal trials, they were still harmless to the human being or to the animals. So my question is, we should be asking ourselves, who needs thicker hair? And if the answer is every one of our patients, then each one of our patients could get QR678. And it could be a great maintenance therapy for people who are not even losing hair. Because the fact is, all of us in due course of time will begin to lose hair as we age because of the hormonal and genetic reasons. And therefore, the QR678 works really well in strengthening existing hair, causing new hair growth, and preventing hair loss as well.
Yeah, interesting, because I think currently most of the hair solution products out there, I have to say some of them are a bit sexist in the sense that they're only focusing on one gender. Normally it's for the male, and some oral medication that we know is only meant for male but not for female. But I think this is something interesting, something new that I think our audience should be able to gather that this product can be used for most of the indication. Postpartum is one of them. Even for post-COVID patient, I think this is another thing. And how about those patients who just had any, unfortunate cancer, who need to undergo any chemotherapy, radiotherapy that lead to loss of hair? Does it work on this patient?
So we've got a clinical trial which has been published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology, which has shown very encouraging results in women who've lost hair due to ovarian cancer or due to breast cancer. And in some of these women, even after you've stopped the chemotherapy, the hair doesn't grow back. At least it doesn't grow back to the same extent to which it used to be there. Because there's a significant amount of damage which has ended up occurring because of the chemotherapy drugs. So the QR678 works really well in causing hair growth. Most importantly, especially in some countries like in Kuwait or in India, we've started a mechanism by which we are making the medicine available to chemotherapy patients free. This is
interesting.
So what we do is, it's important, in our opinion, a woman who's been treated with cancer, but who's not been treated for hair loss because of the cancer, has not been treated holistically. Imagine she's free from cancer now, but when she's looking at herself in the mirror, she still sees no hair on her head. Do you think she truly believes she's cured? So therefore, treating people holistically is important. And one of the things that the QR678 does is actually, in some of these countries, make the vials available for free to cancer patients who do not have the ability to pay for it. In that sense, it is social service. And in that sense, it is a brand with a heart. Because we truly believe that when you grow hair on your scalp, you're actually growing what is the most important thing in human interactions, which is confidence.
Don't get lost with your hair loss problem. I got you. And no, I'm not talking about hair transplant. Let me introduce you to QR678, the tiny elixir to your hair loss problem. This tiny but mighty bottle of goodness can bring back your hair to life, and the best part is, QR678 contains polypeptides that allow natural hair growth. It is also clinically proven to increase your hair volume. Get your treatment now with QR678.